Hi, welcome back. So now that we're done with the Git GitHub part and we're pretty much experts on it, it's time to move on to an alternate way to use Git and GitHub. So let's get started. Pretty much in this section, we're going to look at all of the skills we've learned, except we're going to do it through a Git GUI. So we're going to explain what GUIs are. We're going to look at them and, how are they better than using something like a command line or a terminal. So we're going to look at all of that, and then we're going to look at using one of these GUIs for Git. It's called SourceTree. So we're going to really speed through it. We don't need to explain all of the features, commits, things like that. We're just going to go straight through it and see what's going on so that we can get used to the whole GUI environment, because we've been doing everything through a terminal so far. So getting used to something like a GUI with Git is a little bit difficult at first. So first of all, we're going to look at some of the basic features on SourceTree. So init, add, commit, all of the things that we learned in the Git basics section. So we're going to look at these, but we're also going to try and point out some of the differences between using a terminal and a GUI like this, like SourceTree. After that, we're going to look at the network features. So after we learn all the basics, branches, everything like that, we're going to move on to look at remote features. So pushing, pulling, deleting branches, and pretty much what we did in the last section, or in the last two sections actually. And we're going to try and use this in SourceTree. So it's much simpler in SourceTree than many people think. Mostly in the terminal, it's quite complex, connecting and all of that. But once you use SourceTree, it becomes a lot easier. So there we go. We're going to talk about that. But that's pretty much it. SourceTree is not the most complex software to use. It was made with user-designed UX in mind. So we're going to be, speeding through. I'm going to explain some of the differences so you can kind of adjust to using an environment like this instead of a black and white terminal. So we're going to go and work with that, try and get some experience, and then finally we are going to finish off with this course. And by then, hopefully you should be an expert in Git, GitHub, and in two different ways of using both of them. All right, let's move on.